Napa know-how.
A Napa guy knows more isn't always better, unless we're talking about full-size vans. These beasts do more than get you from A to B. They have so much space a man can live in it. With shag carpeting, waterbed, and a sweet lava lamp, these mobile abodes have all the comforts of home. With quality parts and plenty of Napa know-how, you can keep the original tiny house running longer, stronger. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah. Marvelous. Sportholes Radio. Sports show. Shout out to Chuck, AJ, Smoke, Steve. Let's get into it. Yeah. Like to welcome y'all to Sportholes and Sports Radio. Introducing your hosts, Chuck, AJ, and Smoke. When they hear the latest news on every sport play review, grab a seat, kick your feet, this is a good day to view. They cover all topics from football to basketball. Numbers don't lie, and every show they got the stats for y'all. They gon' give you the real, no sugarcoating. Anything you wanna hear, they keep the discussion open. It's Sportholes Radio. This is an amazing show. Sports Center with realness and edge. This the way to go. We gon' keep it booming. The best show, I'm assuming. It's time for Sportholes Sports Radio. Tune in.
Yeah, we back. Sportholes Radio. It's your boy Smoke. We back for another week of talking our talk as usual. So we into episode 3 this week. More March Madness, and pretty much just going to be going over the field of 64, and now it's dwindled down to 16 teams, Sweet 16. Now, if you guys were listening last week, as you know, if you were paying attention, my bracket is totally busted. And I'm not sure about the other guys. I forget their picks, but I'm probably sure their brackets are busted a little bit too. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them in, and we're going to get to it. Let's see who we got. Chuck Johnson, you out there?
Yo, what up? Stat Man on deck. What's up, people?
Stat Man in the building. What's good? He's stuck on his name. What that bracket looking like? What that bracket do?
Bracket is horrible. I was running with my Dookies. We out.
Yeah, yeah. See, I'm gonna go ahead and let.
Look like we out.
You know, I want to shoot down your Dookies, but I'm gonna let Fat Man do that. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him in and just Fat Man. I know you hear me. Shoot him down when you come in. Shoot him down. Hey man, come on.
Well. What do we have? I recall, and I do recall on this radio show, I said that Carolina was going to beat Duke ass, didn't I? And I recall saying that your homeboy, he can't keep his feet to himself. Grayson Allen wasn't going to do much. Seems like I was right. So, let me break down my weekend. First off, my bracket is okay. It ain't great, but guess what? I did pick Villanova to lose in the 16, so oh well. But my thing for the weekend is my Tar Heels won. So, you know, when things like that happen, you want to get a little applause.
Yes, we are a pro Tar Heel station. Salute to the Tar Heels.
Yes, we are. Oh, definitely pro Tar Heels. We got immediate family members who have graduated from that school. So we don't even want to talk about how this ain't no Michael Jordan thing, but it is a Michael Jordan thing. This ain't no LeVar Ball talking right here. Second is a college I have attended would happen to be the school that beat Duke. So my Tar Heels won and my Gamecocks won in the same day and Duke took the L. Oh man, I'm popping bottles like I was a rapper around this thing, boy. I'm telling you, it just don't make no sense.
Yeah, it was good to see the Dukies go down. Only South Carolina did their thing on that one. And Doug Martin got the program turned around, and for them to be in Sweet 16. I can't front in my bracket. I had them losing in the first round. I can't even lie. But
don't do that. D-Wade did the same thing.
Yeah, I'm proud of them. I salute them. You know what I'm saying? They proved me wrong, and you know what I'm saying? They doing well out there, man. Chuck, what you got to say about your Dukies, man? I mean, I know you got some statistical analysis that that's the reason why the Dukies.
He got a reason why they lost. Coach K back was hurting or something,
No. Well, to be honest, my team wasn't healthy all season. We never had the team that we expected to have. Just hear me out. Harry Giles, he was the number one rated recruiter in the nation. He was supposed to be like one of those next level, once in every 5 year type recruits, but he had an ACL injury, I think, as a sophomore in high school, and then he had an ACL injury prior to the senior year in high school. And then prior to the season started, he had to have another little mop-up surgery. So we never got to see the Harry Giles that we expected to see on the Duke roster all year.
Oh, man.
So that was part of the problem. But I'm not going to go there. What I want to do is give South Carolina props. They got the W. I ain't going to complain about this. We went out on the field. We went out on the court, pardon itself, and we lost to a team that played better than us the other night. That's why they call it March Madness, because the little madness happened every year around tournament time. So
one thing, be mad, be Duke fans.
I'm a little upset. I'm a lot upset. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a lot upset.
Let me ask you a question. I respect your rant on why y'all supposedly lost, but you went off on Giles for a minute. Telling me all this, that, and the third. But it sounded like all this stuff happened like before y'all made it to the tournament, even throughout the season. So bottom line is, this is shit y'all knew already. So I mean,
no doubt.
So y'all ain't prepared no other way. Y'all was just like, Giles ain't playing. Screw it. That's how it went down.
No, that's not how it went down.
Grayson didn't get nobody like he wanted to.
He played during the season, but he wasn't the dude that we expected to see throughout the season.
Let me tell you what was unexpected. I thought y'all was gonna drop 500 on Carolina because they ain't been to the tournament in umpteen years. And now they going all the way to the 16. Somebody getting a pay raise behind that, a.k.a. Mr. Martin. Holler at your homies. We got a donate button. You can call in if you want, 563-999-3565. 563-999-3565. But anyway, y'all underestimated Carolina, came out there and thought it was going to be a walk in the park. And what's crazy is Carolina's offense wasn't really all that great throughout the first half. They I think a 57% in the second half. That was crazy. But even beyond
71% in the second half.
Oh, okay. I knew it went up, but I knew it went up astronomically, something I've never seen before. But beyond that, them boys play defense on y'all all night long, beasting you in the middle. That's what happened. And throwing them bows, getting right, people fouling out. It got into a scrappy little thing, and I like that. And Coach K had to stand up the whole last 5 minutes, and it wasn't because his back was hurting. It was because he ain't never seen Carolina. He's like, this South Carolina, I thought they played football down there. He didn't know what was going on, man.
Coach K did say after the game early. Coach K did say after the game that. Hold up. Coach K did say after the game that South Carolina was the toughest team that we went against this year. So, yes, they did kind of out tough us a little bit in the game yesterday.
Y'all want to hear a secret? Y'all know I did, like, the homeboy, like, the homer thing on ESPN. I had 3 brackets. I got one bracket with South Carolina going to the 16. I think that put me, like, in the 85th percentile, like, I was doing all right this morning. Now after tomorrow, that could all change. But had to throw that out there.
Man, 3 buckets, you cheating. But anyway, Blue Cats lost early. Before they're no stranger, losing early. In '96, as the 8th seed, they lost to number 9 Eastern Michigan in the first round. In 2007, as the 6th seed, they lost to the 11th seed, VCU. That was the year VCU went on that run, if I'm not mistaken. In '97, they lost as the 2 seed to number 10 Providence on the 10th seed in the second round. In 2014, they was the number 3 seed. They lost to the 14th seed Mercer in the first round. 2008, as the 2nd seed, they lost to number 7 West Virginia. And '93, they lost to as the 3rd seed to California, as California was the 6th seed.
That year we lost to VCU. I think that was the Eric Mena led team. That wasn't the team. That wasn't the VCU team that had went to the Final Four. That was the team that was led by Eric Mena, who had a couple calls in the NBA. But saying all those losses we took just reminded me of the fact that, man, we've been in the tournament a lot of times.
Oh, boy, you don't want to count that number of times the Tar Heels been on there. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I'll give you a rap now. Yeah, you did. Y'all get there, but no, don't make it like y'all just walking through here like the Patriots and whatnot. No, y'all like the Bills. Y'all keep going to the Super Bowl and losing.
2015 national champions. 2015 national champions.
Well, let's talk about the 16 teams.
We're not the Bills, and we 2010 national champions too. So that's 2 championships in the number 7 seasons. So we not the Bills.
Let's talk about let's talk about the 16 teams that are still in it. The Dukies, they out of here. Bye. But they are a prestigious program, so we'll give them that. All right, so we got Wisconsin. Wisconsin is still in it. Florida, Baylor, the aforementioned South Carolina, Gamecocks we just mentioned. Gonzaga, they're still number 1 seed in. We got West Virginia, Xavier, Arizona. They're in as a 2 seed. In the Midwest bracket, we got Kansas. They're still remaining as the 1 seed. Purdue, Oregon, and Michigan. And in the South seed, we got North Carolina. I got
3 of those 4.
As a number 1 seed. Butler, UCLA as the 3rd seed. They're still remaining with Lonzo Ball. And number 2 seed Kentucky, they're still in it. So any surprises out of them teams? I said earlier that I didn't pick South Carolina to win, so I that's kind of a surprise for me. You know what I mean? Even though they've been playing well, so it seems like they should, but according to their play, they should be where they're at. But any surprises or anything that stand out to you? Did you catch any of the game?
Well, I do have to tell you this. The whole southern part of my bracket is 100% correct. I got UNC, Butler, UCLA, and Kentucky. And on the Midwest, I got Kansas, Purdue. I picked Creighton, but I got Michigan. So I missed 1 game on the whole right side. Man, listen, I ain't even going to talk my talk right now. But the left side of my bracket is a whole nother story, bro. But Villanova.
You need the whole thing. Now the one thing I do want to say though is I was peeping the UCLA Cincinnati game last night. Lonzo Ball is true.
Oh boy,
Lonzo
Did you
Ball
see what I put on Twitter today? I said, listen,
Lonzo
I think Kari Champion had said how she was impressed on how well he played, and she was saying that with all the stuff going on around his dad, she's surprised that, not surprised, but she shows that he's a strong dude. I was like, yo, his dad took him talking enough shit for him and the whole family, so all he got to do is play basketball, and he doing that, brother. Yeah, I don't know if I hope his brother learned from that, because the little video I saw his brother dropping 100 points, he ain't played no defense, but Lonzo was out there doing his thing.
Yeah, he made some nice passes. in that second half. And I want to say he was like 4 or 5 in the second half. So he shot the ball well in the second half, pulled his team out. You know, I picked them as the winner, the national championship. So my overall winner is still in it. So, but you know, that was the biggest pickup for me. Is just in the last, in the first couple rounds, going into the Sweet 16 was, how well he played. He looked polished, and so to be on the big stage and to lead your team into the Sweet 16. We'll see, but it looks good as far as my pick, but as far as his career, I can see him being the first overall.
What we did mention last week, when we talked about the tournament last week, about the most key ingredient we had mentioned was, in order to advance in this tournament, what did you need to have on your team, big boy? What we say you need to have on your team if you want to advance?
You got to have a pro on your team. You got to have
a pro on your team. And as we mentioned with Sindarius Thornwell, SEC Player of the Year, and he proved that he's a pro. And y'all talked about Lonzo Ball. As we watch him now, Lonzo Ball, guys that can make their teammates better, who can almost dominate a game without scoring. See, people talk about scoring all the time in basketball, and points is good because you need scores. But the very special basketball players, they can be the best player on the court and have 10 to 15 points. They don't necessarily have to have 40 points for you to see that they're the best player. They can be out there just getting their points when the team needs them, but getting the rebounds and getting assists and D'ing up and literally being the best person on the court without dominating shot attempts, knowing that there's a great player, they can get theirs anytime they want to. So that's what you see with Lonzo Ball. He hasn't scored 30 all year.
His team better,
he hasn't scored 30 all year. But what he does out there, UCLA was 15 and 17 last year, and they got a guy named T.J. Leaf, who's also a freshman like Joe Ball, and they're talking about Leaf as being the first-round pick. But it's Ball. He's a winner. He's that pro that you need on your team if you're going to advance in the tournament, like we mentioned last week. And when you got some good players surrounding you, you're going to have a chance to advance far in the tournament.
Absolutely. And to capitalize on the need a pro on your team, you are absolutely right when you speak of UCLA and South Carolina. And I'm not telling you South Carolina is going to win the whole thing. I would love to see that, and Columbia 5 points would be ignorant. But having a pro on your team makes a difference. It shows that if you got that one key player who can just change the dynamic of the other players, not necessarily by scoring 50. Like I'm saying, don't get me wrong, we're going to get on the Westbrook thing too. I don't take nothing from Westbrook, but I think he's so good. I really believe it's not him. I really believe it's the people around him, because if you're averaging a triple-double and he's doing it with assists, the people around him just garbage, like Smoke said, but we'll get on that later. But as far as the tournament, those teams with those players that step up and play, oh, man, like the freshman point guard Carolina had. He was from Carolina, went to Brooklyn, and then he left when he graduated school in Brooklyn. He came, shout out to Brooklyn. He came back down to Carolina. Last night he had a great game, and it was all because of the level of enthusiasm that Carolina was playing with, and a lot of that too. Not to slide too far off subject on the tournament, a lot of that come from the coaches. Like Smoke and I was watching game. What game was that before the Duke game? I mean, the Duke game. So that was the Tar Heels game, and who the Tar Heels were playing? I'm looking at my sheet now.
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Yo, I saw, and I don't know, maybe that's his coaching style, but I played sports. I heard the little prep speech he gave before they came back on the floor at halftime. I'm not saying it was horrible, but it didn't fire me up. Like, man, when I talk about like getting your guys ready for the big game, you got to let them know you were there. Right there, he sounded like he was nervous, like he was a little suspect, like, boy, we mess around, go back out here, get our behind cut. But in a fight, what's the number one rule? Even if you're going to lose, you don't let them know it. You better fight like you packed your lunch. And he didn't do that, man. Like, when I hear Uncle Herman Edwards, when he talks just about defense, he's not even giving a pregame speech. When he talks just about football, it makes me want to run through a brick wall. So I can imagine what the speech sounds like in the locker room. And that coach did not transfer that to that players because, honestly, they could have beat us. Joel did not play that well of a game last night. So, I mean, just to be real, a lot of that transcends to the players, but the coach just, to me, when I saw that, I was like, oh, man, you not really – you got to put that fire under them guys. And Carolina had that. Man, we're going to fight so hard, even if we lose, they ain't going to embarrass us. And they messed around and won. So now that fire is in them now.
Just to mention, the guard that you were referring to from the Gamecocks is Rakim Felder. He's
I couldn't remember his first name. I knew it was a rapper,
Rakim Felder from Lincoln High. Shout out to Lincoln.
Yeah.
The Tar Heels. That was a tough game for them coming down the stretch. They pulled it out though. So.
Speaking for the ACC, like we even touted as having one of the best conferences in the history of college basketball, and we had 9 teams in the tournament. And after the first weekend, there's only one team left, and that's barely. Like, man, ACC homer, like, man, ACC was whack.
I'm glad you said that. I know what I was going to bring up. When you said SEC player, what'd you say, player of the year or player of the week?
Player of the year.
I thought he got player of the year SEC. People
player
forget,
of the year, man.
They think when you hear basketball, you do think about ACC because that is the dominant. When you think about basketball, maybe Michigan on them too, but for the most part, ACC. But people forget to get SEC Player of the Year. You got all those one and dones coming out of Kentucky.
That's true.
Except Louisville. All those. It's hard to do that. And this guy, you know what I'm saying? He came in and he put his back against the wall. That man single-handedly filled out the game. We were selling more tickets to the girls' game. The guys were coming to the boys' game just to get tickets for the girls' game. So, I mean, it got to the point we had to start moving tickets, and he did that. And he's going to change the culture of basketball around there. Now that they can go to the tournament, guys, I'm not saying this happened. This would be one of the greatest things ever if Zion Williamson came. If he comes, he's probably a one and done. The only way I see him coming is if one of his homeboys signs to Carolina and he wants to follow it. That's the only way I see that happening. But it would be great.
Yeah, you're making a good point about Zion Williamson. Now we going away from the tournament for a second, but like the key to the state of South Carolina, whether it be Clemson or the Gamecocks, like you got to keep your talent home. Like Kevin Garnett, he didn't go to college, but he's from South Carolina. Jermaine O'Neal, Raymond Felton, they go to UNC. You got to keep them players home. Ray Allen, they go to Connecticut.
Winning does that, so
you got to keep them going.
The team coming in and going further than they've ever gone at this point in time.
But I like to see the state balling out.
And then looking at the rest of the bracket, they got Baylor, Florida, and Wisconsin in their bracket. They could beat those teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you could see a situation where, we were talking about Duke versus UNC for the championship. We could see a state battle, a border battle. South Carolina versus North Carolina for the championship.
And in Greenville,
it'll make it interesting in Palmetto State. It'll make it interesting out here. So, they could make that run. And so when you translate that over to Zion Williamson, that's a situation where he could come in like, oh, this is a winning program now. To go to the Sweet 16, even if they lose their next game, the Sweet 16 furthest they win. Yeah. Now he could look at himself as the, the piece that could take them to the 4, take them to the championship, and change the culture, basketball culture in Columbia. You know what I mean? For the Gamecocks. So these next few games could mean a lot in that. Will mean a lot for that recruiting. So shout out to the Gamecocks and Darius Thornwell. Shout out to Zion Williamson.
Shout out Rakim. All that Zion Wilson.
Nice.
You feel? Yo, I gotta give a shout out to him. Yeah, you see it. DJ Dozier. But yo, real talk, Zion Wilson. If you ever listen to this show, son, my homeboy went to your game last week, and the dunk that he caught a picture of you doing was ridiculous. I'm saying this as a grown man. If you was to ever dunk on me like that, we would fight. There's no way in the world I would let you get above the rim like that. But I hope you go far, son. I hope you go far.
Zion Williamson putting the state on the map in the basketball.
Yeah.
So what we going to do?
Let's stay on topic for Smoke. Get the buttons
let's get
on
back
us.
to the tournament. So what we got picking for what we gonna do for the picking for the week?
For the week, we got to keep setting up. We telling our 16, or we telling our 16 who we picking to come out to 16. We already know who is 16.
Yeah, let's get from the 16 to the Final Four.
Let me tell you something. My whole left side, the East Coast, that's bad, son. I have Villanova, Virginia. You shredded it already?
No, I ain't shredded. I left it at home.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the studio, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. You are. But I did. I brought mine with me because I wanted to talk shit. I had to talk shit. Carolina won. So let me tell you about my horrible East. I got Villanova, Virginia, Baylor, and Duke. And South Carolina. That's the only one I had out of that. Left was South Carolina. I had Gonzaga, Notre Dame, Maryland, and St. Mary's. So
if I remember it correctly, in the West, out of the 116 who's there, I think I only got Xavier. In the East bracket, I don't have
Xavier on the map.
Anybody in that bracket.
Yeah,
the Midwest and the South, I want to say I got those all correct. Not the individual games,
the South
but
you probably got right.
Down
you
the
got UNC, Butler, UCLA, and Kentucky, and I think we went pretty much the same way in the South. So you probably locked the South down. Now
No, I'm lying. In the Midwest, I don't have Michigan. I had Louisville beating Michigan. So
see, I got Michigan. I didn't take Oregon.
Midwest and South bracket, the one I'm missing is Michigan. I had Louisville in that spot. In the East and West brackets, I only have Xavier. So I'm done over there.
So tell me this. Let's do this, since we know what we all done screwed up. Out of what's left over, what's your four that you're going to take for the Final Four?
Yeah. Because Braggers is way past busted.
Well, my right side, I'm keeping my same right. Like my four, I'm taking Kansas playing UNC, and I'm taking Gonzaga. Screw it. I'm taking Gonzaga to play South Carolina.
I had the Zags on my bracket, too. Yeah, I got the Zags on my bracket.
So I'm taking
I ain't even going to front.
South Carolina, Gonzaga.
I'm thinking South Carolina will ride that wave. I think they ride the wave. They've been playing good defense. So, I see them coming out the East right now the way that stands. Out the West, I'm going to take the Zags. The South, I picked UCLA. I picked them to win it all, so I'm going to take UCLA out the South. And in the Midwest, I'm playing with Kansas.
Good job. So,
man, I really like to see throughout the sports season. I really like to see like a team that's considered championship worthy to win the championship.
You can say they ain't champion. Who's not worthy?
I think all the teams that's left got a chance to win, but like I hate when almost 500 team don't get close to winning the championship. I like teams that you consider to be great throughout the year to win.
You sound real salty right now.
Nah. And my team wasn't really a great team all year. I mean, like, the teams that was great all year was like Gonzaga and Kansas. I guess Villanova. They was great all year. I like to see them teams win because I feel like then the season was crowned by a worthy champion. I hate like if 10-6 or 9-17 make it to the Super Bowl. I don't feel like a worthy champion won. Like I don't feel like the team that was the big team that won. I mean, so I don't know. For my Final Four, I guess I'd have Zona and I'd have to have Arizona coming out the West and Duke. Well, no.
You can't.
Arizona, because I had Arizona coming out. I'm going to go with Baylor in the East.
That's a safe
not
pick.
Baylor. Not Baylor. I meant Wisconsin. I'm going to go with Wisconsin.
You're going to sit on the Gamecocks.
I'm going with the team that I feel like going to win. Wisconsin, they played in the national championship game against Duke a couple of years ago. This their fourth consecutive year to the Sweet 16. And what else win besides pros in the tournament is veteran teams too. Rarely do young teams win. And Wisconsin has a team that's won a lot of games in the tournament. So, I mean, I don't want Wisconsin to win. I don't like the way they play. I don't think they play a stylistically pleasing brand of basketball. I like to see the score get up there. They don't play that brand of basketball.
They win ugly.
They win ugly, and they win a lot. Almost like the Spurs or Detroit Piston type basketball.
I'll go with the Pistons.
So like I'm gonna go with them out the East, and I'm gonna go with Arizona, and I'm gonna go with UNC because I had them still in the tournament, and I had Kansas in the tournament.
Word.
So three of my 4 teams still left to make it to the Final Four. So I'm gonna keep those. I'm gonna keep those 3 teams, and I'm gonna go with Kansas and North Carolina look kind of shaky.
Joel just went. He got a.
I'm gonna go with Kansas and Arizona.
We ain't hit our wave yet. I'm saying we ain't hit our wave. It's all
I'm gonna go with Kansas and Arizona. Ain't Kansas and Arizona on the side of the region? I'm gonna go with Kansas and Arizona for the championship.
Oh, that's all the way left field. You what? You was better off picking Michigan because they plane crash and they somewhat Cinderella.
Yeah, and they playing a good brand of basketball too. If they wasn't in Kansas region, I might would have picked them. I just feel like Josh Jackson. We talk about the pros. Josh Jackson from Kansas. He's gonna make a team very happy next year. He's playing
picked
like
teams that nobody picked. Like you had to, other than Kansas, you had to go to them schools. So.
Nah, I mean, I picked like me watching basketball.
I feel you, but who you picked out the East? Who you said? You said Butler, Baylor.
No, Wisconsin.
Yeah, no. No one picked Wisconsin. You picking them now, but
I'm picking them now. I had Duke. That's who I originally had.
Who Wisconsin playing? Let me look and say. Who Wisconsin playing?
You can't hate on
they
that.
They play in Florida.
You ain't take the SEC? You whack.
They play in Florida.
Florida playing good ball
right now. Well,
I don't know if they can beat.
Those are our picks for the brackets, the Sweet 16. We're really not going to get no games until Thursday, so we'll air another episode of Sportholes Radio before we
girls
get
playing
games.
So
I'm sticking with my 4. It ain't gonna change between now and.
Yeah, we can do maybe our next show we'll do a girls bracket roundup and talk about those teams a little bit or whatever.
They'll be into the Sweet 16.
Our girls
girls playing very well. Asia Wilson.
I did want to talk about the NBA playoffs. We got that coming down, rolling down the pike soon. But I guess before we get into that, we need to do a little NFL update, free agency update. So I see lately, as far as the teams, my team, the Giants, the G-Men, I don't know what we was doing or what we was thinking about with this, but hey, we signed Geno Smith to a 1-year, $2 million deal. So we'll see what. But he's probably gonna be playing third string. I want to say we picked up another quarterback. So, but yeah, we got Geno Smith. The Jets signed 1-year deal with Josh McCown, so he's gonna be their quarterback, which I thought was kind of interesting because you still got Colin Kaepernick out there. And, I think he might have been a better fit than Josh McCown. You know what I mean? At least just from the
the Crickets is for.
From the look of it.
The Jets is a debacle.
Adrian Peterson is still out there, so we still got, a couple of pieces that's still out there, man. I mean, what the Skins got going on? Anything that's piquing your interest with the Skins or around the league?
Looks like right now we keeping Kirk Cousins, so obviously we're going to have to pay him. But see, this is what's going to happen. We're going to have to give him more money than he was asking, so just to make him happy again, because that whole trade thing got out of line. But looked like they're trying to take Cook from Florida State as a running back in the draft, which, I mean, that makes sense, especially with our receivers. We still got Crowder, we got Dotson, who they expecting to have a good year this year, and then with Terrell Pryor, we looking all right. But as far as free agency, I mean, we picked up Swearinger in the backfield, so that was a big pickup. We need that.
Yeah, so it wasn't really no big one no big move since the last.
Well, see, you got the whole Marshawn thing popping off in Oakland, and I can see that happening seriously. That's his hometown. He already got a Super Bowl. Oakland is on the cusp of getting a Super Bowl, especially if their quarterback stay healthy, which he would take a lot of pressure off of them. Great offensive line, best offensive line behind Dallas, if you want to look at it.
Yeah. I was talking about your Skins, but I'm glad you mentioned Marshawn Lynch. I think he should come out and get it
talk about the Skins every episode.
You better. You just mad because the 49ers ain't got nothing to talk about.
Or the Giants every episode.
Nah, but real talk.
Listen, man.
That Marshawn.
I'm gonna hit mute on your mic. I'm gonna hit mute on
Oh,
your mic.
Smoke is mute too, man.
Hold on. What are we talking about? Marshawn Lynch. Chuck, what do you think about Marshawn? You think he's gonna come back and will he be a good fit out in Raider Nation?
I don't know what Marshawn doing. He signed with Seattle still, so to me it's like I wish the Raiders would be trying to get Adrian Peterson. I wish the Raiders Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson.
That's what I was gonna ask y'all. You think AP asking too much?
I don't know, homie. That's a good question. Truthfully, now that you said that, homie, and I really didn't even think about it, I know we all know AP probably still thinking himself is AP all day. He's still the man. So I'm pretty sure he's not trying to take no cheap contract. You're right. He definitely ain't trying to take
Eddie
those
Lacy
cheap
kind of messed that
contracts.
up for him.
That's a good point.
Eddie Lacy with that, your market value is still your market value, and the next best free agent running back out there would have been Lacy behind Adrian, and especially with Lacy having production, now he might have weight and same type issues, but he's on the field more than Adrian at this point. But that contract kind of messed up. Yeah, and then that's another thing is your age, your durability. Are you a liability? So I mean, he's gonna have to break down and take a contract he might not want to take to get where he want to get. Now, if you got to do that, I'll be selective about where I go. I'd be like, okay, well, Oakland's an option. Any Super Bowl contender, Giants, that's an option. But I mean, that might not happen. But honestly,
they're saying he don't fit in with our system.
I had a question for y'all to go. That'll probably go along with this. Then, what team needs the most help and who needs to make a big move? The Redskins, I'm not even putting them out there right now.
The interesting teams in Seattle, Minnesota, and Oakland. Those was the teams listed as the interesting parties.
I think Texas was on there, right?
Those are the ones that I'm seeing from the reference I got on NFL.com. So there might be some others that, if you heard some story, because you know how that goes, they ain't going to have every team listed. But those are the ones that I've heard, Minnesota asked them out. So really it would just be Seattle or
they
Oakland.
made it clear this week that they're not doing that.
That's been on the, at least on the radars. Seattle signed Eddie Lacy. So does that change it for them? We'll see. Then Marshawn Lynch comes into the mix with Oakland. So does that change it in the mix? So
exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So say Marshawn goes to Oakland for. My bad. Go ahead. Oh, my bad. I said if Marshawn goes back to Oakland, it changes the dynamic so much for the fact that if Oakland want to pay, right now I would pay Marshawn Lynch more than I would pay Adrian Peterson. Period. Point blank. So I mean, I got to. He produced.
It goes back to your point though. It goes back to your point. If Oakland signs, they sign anybody, whoever they sign. They sign somebody. Seattle, they short up with whoever they get. Adrian Peterson is still there. Now it goes back to your point of the money. It goes back to the money. Is he asking for too much? He's going to have to take a pay cut to play somewhere. Does he hold out for a minute for a team who wants to, when it gets closer to crunch time, they'll end up paying more money. So, yeah, it creates a dynamic.
Let me tell you two teams right now that's real quiet, that's not quiet, but real quiet about this whole situation. Watch out for New Orleans because they done moved a whole bunch of stuff around, and they got to get Drew Brees his last hurrah. So if they take AP, it's perfect because when Drew Brees get ready to go, we get rid of him at the same time. So, all of that will clear up all the space. They'll be looking like the Browns in the draft eventually. But, I mean, if it goes that way. But then also, don't count out Detroit because Detroit need help as well. So, I mean, look at teams like that as far as if these big-name teams, I think they would have made their move by now. You know what I'm saying? When I say big names, cats who known to make a splash. But as far as teams like Detroit, New Orleans, I don't see nobody in Florida making them. They did their receiver thing. So mostly stuff like that. Pittsburgh already locked down. New England locked down. They're not doing nothing. They made everything else they'll do will be through the draft. So, I mean, that's how I look at that.
The top free agents left is Adrian Peterson, running back. Jonathan Hankins from the Giants, defensive tackle. T.J. McDonald, strong safety from he was with the Rams. He's a free agent. Zach Brown, inside linebacker. Jay Cutler. Let's see if Jay Cutler get a job. Quarterback.
Jay Cutler might be
Michael Floyd, wide receiver. Jamal Charles, running back. Jared Odrick, defensive end.
Man, Colin Kaepernick should have been on that list. He still can play.
I was trying to get to him. I thought it was shorter because I got a question. So since you mentioned Kaepernick, we're gonna skip everybody else. Straight to Kaepernick.
16 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions.
He'll help a team out.
Why does Colin Kaepernick not have a job or any interested teams at this point? What's going on, Chuck?
We know why.
I ain't gonna go there because Adrian Peterson's still on the market. But we know what's wrong with you just mentioned on that list. There's still good players on the market, so I ain't ready to go there just yet and say.
You gotta come out and make a statement saying that you will not take a knee.
Jay Cutler is still on the market, so I ain't really want to go there and say
time
that.
Out,
but
time out.
I'm just saying, I know Colin Kaepernick can play in the NFL.
So, I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but did you just...
I know Colin Kaepernick can play in the NFL.
Colin Kaepernick?
I think things will develop for him once the draft.
I'm taking Colin Kaepernick over Jay Cutler all day.
I mean, he can play. We had no weapons last year. Our receivers that he was out there playing with were third and fourth wide receiver, guys that are better off in the offense, playing third and fourth wide, and playing with those guys. He had a 16 touchdown to 4 interception ratio. I was even shocked. Me watching the whole season didn't realize that his touchdown to interception ratio was that good. So he didn't have a lot of passing yards, and a lot of his stats seemed like in the second half they wasn't good, but he had 11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the first half and 5 touchdowns and 1 interception in the second half, which means he took care of the ball. He didn't throw a lot of touchdown passes in the second half. But
he was the best part of a horrible team.
He was the best part of our offense, most definitely. I know my homie, he'd say Joe Staley, the tackle, is a very good player. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler, but Cap was our MVP. Cap was our MVP with no weapons, so I know he can play in the league. I just want to see him get a chance to be on the roster when the season starts. If you go look at them rosters in the NFL, you can't tell me there are probably 80 to 90 quarterbacks on the roster every year in the season. I know Cap is qualified to be at least one of them quarterbacks. I don't know if he's your team starter or your team backup, but he's definitely worthy of being on the team.
Oh, I think he can start somewhere. So tell me about this then. I know Smoke got something to say on this one. The Cowboys signed a backup today, and Tony Romo is still on their roster. What is going on?
I don't know, man. I think they really just. I think Jerry Jones probably just gonna keep him because and just let him ride out. Maybe
throwing money away, bro.
That's the only thing I can see them doing. I mean, at this point,
Jerry Jones, as much as I hate the Cowboys, Jerry Jones is a smart businessman.
If you're gonna cut him, you would give him the most opportunity or most time for teams to check him out. Make a offer. Now maybe it's still early in that process, and I'm just thinking ahead of time. But you would think they would just have released him already. The talk happened 2 or 3 weeks ago that they were going to release him. It didn't happen, and so
a month ago.
Okay, there's no trade market for him. When they say, okay, we're going to release him, no, we're not going to release him. We're going to trade him. What's the trade? The trade market hasn't been there. Maybe things can heat up once we get the draft, closer to the draft and the draft happening. Teams have to fill positions at that point. Maybe things will start to heat up at that point. But maybe Jerry Jones always has seemed to have this fondness for Tony Romo, so maybe he just keeps him and lets him ride out, the remainder of his contract. That's the only thing I can see happening. But again, we're still early, so.
Tony Romo want to play.
That look like nepotism, son, if they keep that.
Tony Romo wants to play. Tony Romo is not going to stay on Dallas' team to sit on the bench. That is not an option. So the only way he will remain in Dallas is if he would get a chance to be the starter, which would not go well with the Cowboy teammates who seem to be satisfied with the quarterback they got now.
Why would you take a step back?
So eventually, they gonna have to release him. They just dragging this out because they like to have like cowboy stories that be real whack too, like just to drag the story out. Like I really be tired of the Cowboys like that. Like man, it really y'all got to talk about that all the time. Like we all know that's gonna be the starting quarterback when the season starts.
No
question. He gonna be on another team. They just dragging this out.
I don't understand it because my thing is
they don't need to talk about it till he on. It's like the NFL. When they ain't playing games, they got to keep some eyes on them too. So throw the Kirk Cousins story out there. They keep eyes on Washington. You got the Romo story. They keep eyes on Dallas. So to me, they just want to keep some eyes on them during the off season. That's all.
It's the world's best reality show.
It's a really good. That's what I say. That's what they have made it into, like a really good reality show. That's what
so when I turn on
like
SportsCenter, all I hear is this.
Dun, 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 dun.
You don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be something crazy every day. Like this Darrelle Revis thing. Okay, speaking of Dallas, Seattle is looking to move Richard Sherman, and Dallas supposedly would be the best suitor. And if you look at it, it makes sense because they just released their whole backfield, not backfield, but secondary.
Boo, Richard Sherman going to Dallas. More soap opera. But you mentioned Darrelle Revis. Shout out to Darrelle Revis for getting acquitted for all them charges they tried to pin on him like he was a baby guy.
He dropped them charges like them two boys was on that videotape. Darrelle Revis is he want him and Steve Smith. I'll eat lunch with any of them dudes any day. Real talk. Steve Smith is like low key. Yeah, see you after the game, homie. Real talk. That's when I heard him say that in that interview. I already knew Steve Smith was one of my favorite receivers, but when I heard him say, "Cool, see you after the game," at that point in time, he had moved up to Randy Moss levels of respect. Real talk. Straight up. I'm talking, that's how you do it.
Well, yeah, I damn sure don't want to see, Richard Sherman out in no cowboy uniform.
Man,
so hopefully some other team can come. Maybe our Giants can go spin on him and bring him in and bulk up that secondary a little bit.
Not the Giants.
No, Cowboys. No, Cowboys.
No, I don't think the Giants gonna make that.
Send him to Tampa Bay.
I'm about to say, sleep on Tampa Bay and think Tampa Bay won't take Richard Sherman, and they just took Deshaun Jackson, got Mike Williams out there with the little fat quarterback, Jameis Winston. So I'm telling you right now. I said Williams, Mike Evans, excuse me. But Mike Evans and Deshaun together are going to be awesome.
Yeah, that should be some magic for Jameis. He should take another step.
And he's a winner.
Second best duo.
He's a quarterback.
Second best duo.
Yeah, Jameis looked like he got that it factor, that winning.
He's a winner. I don't care how many crowns he stole. Tom Brady can play the football. Y'all cool with him.
Yeah, he ain't got no reason to snatch crowds no more. He's shooting anyway.
Snatch a touchdown.
No yelling out, no crazy shit. Just play a game.
Yeah, no BB guns, none of that. Cam Newton stole a laptop since he's been in the NFL. He all right.
All right. So we coming into the the last portion of our show. We got about 8 minutes left, but we're gonna more than likely roll over for a few minutes. If you want to call in, the call-in number is 563-999-3565. We got a hard 8 minutes left that you can call in and, give comments, talk your shit, on the brackets, free agency, or just whatever. You know what I mean? Just give us a call, 563-999-3565. Word. So, all right, that's NFL free agency now. We got the basketball season rolling down to, the last few games or so. So right now in the Eastern Conference, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're locked in as the number one seed at 46 wins and 23 losses. We got Boston Celtics next, Washington Wizards in the third position. We got Toronto Raptors as the fourth seed. Atlanta is the fifth. Indiana, Milwaukee, and then Detroit as the eighth seed. Miami and Chicago looking on the outside, few games out. And in the Western Conference, we got the Golden State Warriors. Kevin Durant and his crew. They have 55 wins and 14 losses. They lead the Western Conference right now, followed by San Antonio, Houston, Utah, LA Clippers, Oklahoma City Thunder in the sixth seed, Memphis Grizzlies, and the Denver Nuggets. And we got Portland and Dallas Mavericks on the outside creeping in. Everything is, pretty much formulated. We still got some seeds that ought to be determined. Russell Westbrook is gonna win the MVP. Hopefully, you know what I mean. He got a 97% chance.
That's a foul.
97% chance. 97% chance of averaging a triple-double for the season. And, I mean, y'all done heard me before in my talk. Like, he should win the MVP. But I mean, those are the current standards on everything. James Harden, everybody balling. I mean, what's going through your heads with this, with the final portion of this NBA season coming up? Anything intriguing you see out there?
I'm sticking with my little scrappy pick, Boston, coming out the East. If anybody gonna beat LeBron and them, I'm taking Boston. And out the West, it's got to be San Antonio and Golden State playing for it to come out the West.
Yeah, now right now there's a game broadcasting right now. Golden State versus is playing OKC right now. It's a blowout right now at halftime, 59-39.
Who's sitting down?
All Golden State right now.
See, I don't even watch that
still
game.
out. Kevin Durant's still out. So, yeah, the Warriors looking good so far against OKC. So, we'll see how that turns out. But
it's 82 games.
It's looking good. Now, let me ask y'all a question now, because we've been talking about Russell Westbrook, the MVP, the award, fighting for that, the triple-double averaging, so forth and so on. So they're in right now in the 6th seed. They're only a half a game ahead of Memphis for the 7th seed. Now they could be matched up against San Antonio, maybe Houston, maybe Golden State. If they lose a couple games, San Antonio wins. Is there any possibility that the Oklahoma City Thunder get out the first round? The teams that I see that they matched up possibly again, unless they can jump up to the 5th seed and possibly play the Utah Jazz, which I think they have more of a possibility of beating that team in the 7th series than any of the other ones.
They 3-1 against Utah this year. They 3-1 against Utah this year.
It's hard to get that 4.
So basically, they need to move on up. They need to move on up.
Because now they can't beat Golden State in the playoff series, nor can they beat San Antonio. But the Rockets, they might can beat the Rockets because the Rockets are a team that's trying to outscore you. And as we know in the playoffs, you got to play some defense in the playoffs. So a team that's just trying to outscore you, they can be beaten in the playoffs because they really just trying to outscore you, which allows you to be able to get yours on offense. And
if you get defensive turnovers on a team like that, it's a wrap. If your defense can shut down that so-called offensive train, once you slow them down, they'll tap out. They'll tap right on out.
Now, Houston has this dude called Patrick Beverly, who you recall a couple of years ago, he had hurt Westbrook when he injured Westbrook while taking the time out. So he's a little pesky defender. But I think in the series against Houston, Westbrook could possibly average 40 in the triple-double the way they be getting up and down the court.
He'll get 43 of those games, 50 one night and lose.
That'll give him a chance to get his off in the series maybe against Houston. Spurs and Golden State, they don't got a chance. So, and in that game tonight, they real feisty. Russell Westbrook and Steph Curry almost about to get into a fight during the game. They're getting a little thirsty out there.
Yo, let me tell you something. Curry don't want none of that. He like to do all that shooting. I like Curry, but Westbrook, don't let the tight jeans fool you, man. He's still a little scrappy little dude. But
no, that'd be a different situation.
Neither one of them want to fight, man. Like, Westbrook still got the creepy mustache. I don't like that. I don't know.
So now the couple of the last seeds in the both in the East and Western Conference, come these last 15 games, 20 games or so down the stretch, the playoff positioning starts happening and so forth. So you got, we about 12, 13 games left in the season, and we got on the Eastern Conference we got Miami Heat sitting outside. They actually tied with the Detroit Pistons for that 8th spot, and then we have Chicago Bulls. They're a game out of the 8th spot. Charlotte Hornets.
Out the rest of the regular season, right?
They're 3.5 games out, and the Knicks, those teams are out of it. The Knicks and below. Anybody you think the Pistons are going to hold on for that season? You made a point of D Wade being out. Will Chicago or Miami pull that 8th seed? Do you think they could?
I don't think Miami can go deep enough.
Miami, they started out the year 11-30, and then they had a 13-game winning streak. It was the longest winning streak by a team that was under 500. And Miami, they have like the best record since like January the 1st or so. They have like the best record in the whole NBA. So Miami, they playing some real good basketball.
Yeah, but I think this is their way. I don't think that's going to be able to roll all the way over. They're going to be too tough.
I just was saying they look like they're going to make a nice run.
10 games. 7-3 in their last 10.
They look like they're going to make a nice run in at least get to the playoffs. Miami, they going to make it. I don't know if they're going to make no noise. In the East, it's LeBron's world.
Yeah.
In the East, it's LeBron's world. Be shocked if any of them teams able to give LeBron a run. Maybe Carl Lowry can come back and help Toronto look like a better team. Or the Celtics, they gonna get physical with Cleveland. If they meet up in the playoffs, they're gonna be a physical series. Celtics, they just want to get physical with Cleveland.
That's what you need to stop all that pretty boy basketball where they letting everybody just throw up shots from anywhere on the court, a.k.a. Curry and Clay, just shooting from half court. No, man, that's why Celtics, and I'm a Laker fan saying this, you keep putting the body on them jokers, they'll stop that foolishness. They'll start running a real play. That's why Curry got that quick release. He don't want nobody to touch him. But you keep bumping him. You keep bumping and bumping and bumping and bumping. LeBron, too, because LeBron will get the flopping because he don't know who hit him after a while. He get the flopping if his own teammate hit him. So I like physical teams.
Well, no offensive player. As an offensive player, the last thing you want is a defensive player all up in you and making it real uncomfortable. And not Bruce Bowen. Ooh, that's the last person you want to see when you step on the court. If he Bruce Bowen, like, you're gonna have a long night as offensive player. That's not what that player. Especially players who kind of soft. He eat you for lunch.
Real talk. Real talk.
Nah, that's real. So I mean, it's pretty much LeBron's world. My man Russell Westbrook.
LeBron in the East.
At halftime.
Well, go ahead, Smoke.
Golden State in the West.
No, it was basketball, but it was. I don't know. I mean, I guess it is still basketball, pro, mostly college. But we do have. Chuck has a rant that he wanted to get off that we was talking about on a special topic, which I feel is very near and dear to my heart, like capable referees. Like, are referees really too old? Are referees have like an age limit?
Well, let me say my little piece then. Let me say it since he brought it to the attention. All right.
Special news break. Chuck Johnson.
Yo, hear me out, world. We are watching sports. Every time you turn on sports, you hear great athletes, the best athletes in the world. best athletes in the world. So you conditioned to thinking you. Now tell yourself this: you're watching the best athletes in the world, and then you look on the sideline of these games, and it's a guy in a black and white zebra type shirt who's about 60 or 70 years old, or 40 or 50 years old, running up and down the court or running up and down the football field with the best athletes in the world. Does that make any sense to anybody? And you wonder why these games are refereed so bad, and then you look on the side and there's a 40 or 50-year-old affecting these games. How, if anybody watched March Madness over the weekend and saw the Gonzaga and Northwestern game where the guy's hair went through the rim, there were 3 officials on the floor. And I don't know these guys' ages. I don't even know these guys' ages. And I haven't actually even seen these officials. But I bet you if you zoomed into these guys, they are much older than these young guys running up and down the court. Could we get some 30, 25 to 35-year-old males that's in shape to start refereeing these games so we get a better product? It's a shame that we got the best athletes in the world out there balling, putting their life on the line, and these games are coming down to old guys who are not in the proper position or not able to keep up with these guys making calls that's inside the game. Got these kids heartbroken at the end of the game because of bad officiating, and we don't watch the games. We don't go to the games. We don't watch the games. We don't want to see our kids play these games to have the officials affecting the games. We got to do something better about the officiating. We got to get some younger guys officiating these games. Sports would be a better place if the games are decided by the players instead of the officials out there making bad calls. I don't want no robotic referees. I don't mean this. Keep it human, but we got to have some better officiating in the game, man.
Brought to you by Chuck Johnson.
And that message is brought to you by Sportholes and Chuck Johnson.
Man, gosh.
But not
we gotta close it out on that one, man. Chuck Johnson and his rant, man. Y'all heard him. Referee.
Big more rants coming soon.
NCAA.
Big more rants coming soon.
And baseball needs to get the strike zone.
Baseball, we need some younger umpires out there. They need a universal strike zone because you can't have a game where one night you're saying the pitcher got great control, so you're giving them pitches that are outside of the strike zone, and then the next night he threw like 2 or 3 balls in a row, so now you're calling those pitches that you was giving the one pitcher the night before balls when you was calling them strikes the night before. So we do need
that's why I have beef with baseball.
Strike zone.
It all depends on how the referee feel that night.
For sure.
Yeah, it is. But it seems like it's all low.
Yo, all
and get younger.
Sports organizations, step it up on the referee side of the game. Chuck, I know you got to take us out with something, man. Take us out, man. We about to be out of here.
I was mentioning earlier, we talked about the South Carolina men making a run in the tournament. Shout out to the South Carolina women, even though they're missing one of their best players in Elena Coates. She hurt her foot, so that's going to hamper their chance to make a run to the tournament and face Connecticut. So shout out to Connecticut, too. 109 wins in a row. Man, I don't care if that's kids balling, man. 109 wins in a row. And they lost their 3 best players from last year. Who were the number 1, 2, and 3 picks in the WNBA draft. They lost the number 1, 2, and 3 picks in the WNBA draft, and the next year they went undefeated again this year. Gino Auriemma. We don't talk about the women's sports that much, but Gino Auriemma, he's one of the all-time great coaches, too. Yeah, awesome. So shout out to Connecticut. But
UConn.
Shout out to Don Staley and And
them
South Carolina Lady Gamecocks. Asia Wilson.
Yo, Sports on Radio, episode 3. We out of here.
Sports Holes.
Peace.